Okay, this is the math lesson for Tuesday, May 12th. We're on page 880 and we will also go on to 881. We're going to do the guided practice 1 through 8. So starting with guided practice number 1, describe the line segments outlined on this tennis racket. So here are the lines. Now remember our options are parallel, perpendicular, or intersecting. Okay, so if you flip back to page 879, you can see parallel lines here. They never touch and they do not cross, and they are the same distance apart. That's parallel. Intersecting means that they cross each other. And perpendicular, they cross, but when they cross, they make these square corners. So look at these two lines here after reviewing that and decide what type of line segments are those. Well, they look like they're the same distance apart, and they look pretty straight, like they're not going to cross or touch each other. So I would say these are parallel lines. Okay, independent practice. I'm going to do the even with you, and you can do the odd on your own. So it says describe each figure. This is for number 2. Use parallel, perpendicular, or intersecting. Use the most specific term. So looking at the line segment LM and the ray JK, what are they? Are they parallel? Are they equal distances apart and not touching? Nope, so it can't be parallel. Are they perpendicular? Are they crossing and making a square corner? No. So they're crossing and not making a square corner. That means that they're going to be intersecting. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and do number 3. Same thing. You're just saying, are they parallel, are they perpendicular, or are they intersecting? I'm going to do number 4 with you. Draw an example of each figure. Now this section, you need to be very, very careful and look at the symbols or words that are written right between the two line segments or rays that they've written. So for us in number 4, I'm looking at this symbol here, and I see that it's 2 straight lines, straight up and down. Now if you remember from the example on page 879, when lines are parallel and they're written using letters and symbols, this is the symbol that's used for parallel. So we're making 2 parallel lines. The first one is D and E. That's my first line. And then my next line is F and G. And now those have to be equal distance apart. And they're not ever going to cross or touch each other. That's how I know they're parallel. So that is F, G. 2 parallel lines. All right, you're going to do number 5. This word here says intersects. It says line RS intersects TU. So you're going to draw RS and TU as intersecting lines. Okay, let's do 6 together. Now I'm looking at the symbol here. It's showing me the symbol for perpendicular. Now remember, perpendicular means my lines are going to cross and they're going to form square corners, or like those 90-degree corners that we talked about in the previous chapter. Okay, so the first line that I'm going to draw is NO. I'll go ahead and make my dots that represent those 2 points in my line. Perpendicular. So now I drew one straight up and down. Now to make that square corner, I need this line to go straight through the middle. So if you're good at drawing straight lines, you can go ahead and do that. If you need another piece of paper to help you out, you can do that as well, or a ruler. And then we're going to label that, and it's labeled PQ. So there we go. Perpendicular, I have square corners. Okay, you're going to do number 7 on your own. So it says segment JK is parallel, that's what that symbol is, to to ray LM. So you're going to make 2 parallel lines. One of them is a segment labeled JK. One of them is a ray labeled LM. All right, the last one is number 8. So it says circle the statement that is true about the figures below. So the first one says line AB, that's this line here, is parallel to ray EF. Here's ray EF. So what do you know about parallel lines? They have to not be touching, right? But look at these 2 lines, this ray and this line. They are touching, so this cannot be true. We're going to cross that first one out. They are definitely not parallel. Our second option says line AB, again this one, is perpendicular to CD. So remember, perpendicular means that it's forming a square corner. So CD and AB, what do you see? They are forming a square corner, so we can circle that as a true statement. Let's see if any of these other statements are true. It says line CD, so that's a line straight up and down, is parallel to ray EF. So here we go again. Parallel would mean that they are equal distance apart and they do not touch. But look at these 2. This one's going straight up and down, and then it's actually intersecting this ray EF. So no, that is not a true statement. We'll cross that out. All right, let's check the last one. Line CD, again, this line here, is parallel to line AB. You decide this one. Are we going to circle that as a true statement? Is that really what's happening here? These are parallel lines? Or are we going to cross it out and say, no, they're not parallel lines? You decide.